So namaskar students. Today I am going to discuss about methods of separation of mixture. If you go through this picture, you see first method is filtration. It is used to separate the insoluble impurities from a mixture with the help of a filter paper. So here two things you can underline: insoluble impurities and filter paper. Two important things to remember. What basic principle used? Insoluble impurities cannot pass through the small pores of filter paper. Example: separation of water and sand. Sand remain on filter paper and water gets separated in a beaker. You can see the picture here. Filtration. You see the filter paper for funnel, then beaker. Next process is evaporation. It is the process of separating a solid substance from a liquid which is soluble. For example, salt can be obtained from seawater by evaporation. Blue or black dye can be obtained by evaporation of ink solution. Basic principle here: one of the component has low boiling point which evaporates easily than that of the other. That is, here boiling point is taken into consideration. Example again, black dye from ink can be separated by evaporation, and water gets evaporated while dye left behind in a china dish. You see, evaporation and filtration, both the pictures are given. Next is centrifugation. It is a process in which components of a colloidal solution or mixture are separated by rotating. Remember, rotating the colloidal solution at high speed. So here density comes into play. Let's see. It is a process in which component of a colloidal solution or a mixture are separated by rotating the colloidal solution at high speed in a centrifugal machine. Basic principle: when a mixture is rotated at high speed, denser substance settles down, whereas lighter particles float and which can be separated. You can see picture the right hand side. It is one test tube. Lighter particles you see in the above, and below the densest particles. Basic principle that is there. Examples: cream from milk, butter from buttermilk, lassi, blood and urine test in pathological lab. These are the examples. Next is separation of immiscible liquid. It is the process in which two liquids which do not mix with each other and can be separated with the help of separating funnel. Basic principle: it is based on the difference in density of the immiscible liquids. Lighter liquids form the upper layer while the heavier liquid forms the lower layer. You can see the example, the picture on the right hand side. It is given. You see glass stopper separating funnel is there, kerosene oil they have taken, water below, and you stop cork and stem. There is separation of immiscible liquids. Now next is examples. You see kerosene oil and water, petrol and water, like this. Sublimation is the next. It is a process in which one solid changes into vapor whereas other does not. Basic principle: one of the component is volatile and other is not. Volatile means it changes the state. So you see the picture again. It is there. You see one burner, tripod stand, wire gauge, and this china dish is placed over which the funnel is there. You see, when the burner is kept on, you see what happens. And here it changes, means the process in which one solid changes into vapor. Solid directly change into the vapor state. That is sublimation. Example: you can see iodine and sand, camphor and sand, naphthalene, and these things. Now next is chromatography. It is based on the principle of different absorption. The substance which is absorbed to more extent moves slowly, whereas the other moves faster and gets separated. It is used to separate colored components. Basic principle: Colored components can be separated using an adsorbent on which these are adsorbed to different extent. So depending upon their adsorption capacity, it adsorbs. Basic principle: colored components can be separated by using adsorbent on which these are adsorbed different extent. Mixture of blue and red ink, these are the examples. Pigments can be separated because they adsorb on the adsorbent to the different extent. You see the picture, it is there. Separation of dyes using chromatography. Left hand side you see, and right hand side you see the different marks are there: blue ink, red ink, and solvent level. This is how we can separate the mixture. Next is distillation process, that is, it is a double process of evaporation followed by condensation. It is used to separate miscible liquids having large difference in their boiling points. Liquids with lower boiling point will get vaporized first, and on cooling it changes into liquid, thus gets separated. Example: benzene and toluene, acetone and water. You can see the picture again. That is distillation flask is there, and this process how it is collected on the beaker on the right hand side. And so next is fractional distillation. It is a process in which a fractional column is used, which gives the effect of repeated distillation. Basic principle: it is used to separate those liquids which do not differ appreciably in their boiling points. So their boiling point difference is not so much. Refining of petroleum to get kerosene, diesel, petrol, fuel, oil, LPG, paraffin wax, lubricating oil, these are the examples. So fractional distillation is generally used in that is in refineries. Okay, so these are the few topics I discussed today. Please go through this topic in your book also and try to understand it. Okay.